It's been 114 days since the Dallas Stars have played a game, and the regular season is still a couple weeks away, but tonight, hockey returns to American Airlines Center as the Stars play host to the visiting St. Louis Blues to kick off the NHL's preseason slate. Sam Steele is set to begin his third season in Victory Green after signing a 2-year extension over the summer, while Alex Petrovic on the blue line is another returning face for the Stars, this time hoping to expand his role after impressive playoff performances the past 2 seasons. Good evening, everyone. Welcome inside American Airlines Center. Brian Ray alongside Brent Severin. Sevy, it's always a long wait. The preseason is here. Hockey is back here in Dallas.
Yeah, so excited about this. I've been doing the broadcasts here for about 20 plus years. This team has got me excited. They are deep, they're talented, they're going to be tough, and they brought in a new bench boss, Glenn Gulutzan, to take over the reins.
That is the big news in terms of the changes this summer for the Stars. July 1st is when Jim Nill made the hire. The second time Glenn Gulutzan will be behind the bench for this Dallas Stars team, but Sevy, this time he's bringing a lot more experience to the helm.
Yeah, he is, and he's seen every system in the book. He said it's about his approach with the players. It's real important. He's direct, he talks to them, he understands, and he collaborates not only with the assistant coaches, but with his players. The players will have a bigger voice, so hopefully that'll relay into more wins and a better playoff performance for everybody involved.
And he's hoping to create an opportunity for young defenseman Nils Lundqvist, who is one of 2 players on the blue line to watch tonight. Logan Mailloux is the other on the St. Louis side, who was acquired via trade over this summer for the Blues. But Sevy, these are 2 highly skilled, highly quick defensemen on the blue line that'll go head-to-head in this one.
Yeah, and it's up to them to get their spot because it's been teed up for him. For the 22-year-old Canadian, Mailloux, it's more than just a bit piece. He's intended to be a long-term NHLer. And for Nils Lundqvist, we know what he brings to the table. Man, he's had such a tough time. First of all, cracking the lineup with the old coaching staff. Then, just as things start to get going, he gets hurt. Hurts his shoulder, and he's been out since mid-February. He wants to be stronger in the defensive zone. He wants to be better in that area. We know that he's going to create some of the offense. So he's come into camp. He's worked since February to be in shape, most fittest guy here that we've seen for the Stars. So he wants to come in. He understands the opportunity that's in front of him. Management and coaching staff has told him he's going to get the chance, and we expect big things out of him this season.
So we will see what Nils Lundqvist can bring to the blue line in this first preseason tilt. But from the back end to the front end, there's also an opportunity for young Maverick Bourque on the Dallas side, who had a pretty good start to his NHL career last year, but looking to build on it along with Dalibor Dvorsky, who's a young breakout player, hopefully on the St. Louis side. Once again, Sevy, high skill, high pedigree between both Dvorsky and Bourque ahead of this one tonight.
Yeah, for Dvorsky, it's such a great year last year in the American Hockey League. 21 goals, 61 games. He can play center, he can play wing. Again, just like the defenseman that we talked about, he's got a huge opportunity to make this squad with the St. Louis Blues.
He's been an AHL MVP. He certainly had a better second half to the season as opposed to the first. But if you're somebody like Maverick Bourque as well, is it hard to not get nervous knowing that there could be a bigger opportunity here for you?
Yeah, and I think he's a guy that's going to take the reins here and do something with it. A big opportunity. He's got to go to the net. He's got to be tough in front of the net. He knows that. He suffered that hip injury last camp, stepping on a stick of all things. He thought he returned too early, was a step behind. He got limited minutes. So hopefully he wants to do what he did in the second half, and man, he was on fire. He improved his game after the game in Montreal when he saw his family. He was a different player. He's got to have the puck. He's going to want the puck. He's got to get to the net like we've seen in these highlights. He's going to be a good player. He's going to get the opportunity here under Gulutzan.
Radek Fox is another player returning in Dallas, but after a 1-year hiatus in St. Louis as those 2 go head-to-head tonight. We've got more ahead of tonight's game coming up next. Preseason hockey is just about ready to kick off here in Dallas. The St. Louis Blues paying a visit here to the Dallas Stars. Game 1 of 6 preseason tilts for the Stars here as they get ready to face off against St. Louis. And Sevy, our starting goalies in this one, Remy Poirier and Jordan Binnington.
Yeah, we know Jordan Binnington very well. 50-plus games over the last 3 seasons, each of those years. 56 last year. He improved as the year went on and got a lot stronger with the season. Remy Poirier, the 23-year-old 4th-year pro, drafted in the 6th round by the Stars. AHL veteran. He's looking to come in here and make a name for himself and show management he's ready to play.
Radek Faksa taking the face-off against his former team. He spent last year with St. Louis after a 9-season stint with the Dallas Stars. But he is back in victory green as the Blues are in transition with numbers. And Dallas back quickly to force it back in their favor. It's Faksa. Now bumps into one of the referees behind the net. The first preseason game can get a little hodgepodge, as Glenn Gulletson called it a couple of days ago.
That is a good word, hodgepodge.
Blues looking to try and create something in the offensive zone. Faksa breaks it up, but the Stars can't clear. Logan Mailloux with a shot from the blue line that's wide. And it will skip past Philip Broberg all the way back inside the St. Louis zone.
Yeah, body contact is the thing that you really can't work on in the summer. The skills, the skating, the movement, the passes. But once you add that element, it takes a little while to get up to speed.
Alex Petrovic, who has been very good for Dallas in the last couple of postseasons, starting to play out. And now here's Maverick Bourque protecting down the wall, off to the middle. Petrovic trying to create something, and he couldn't get the shot off. He was tied up from behind by Nathan Walker. Petrovic again trying to create. Now locked up in front of the St. Louis bench. Colin Blackwell, a returning Stars player in this game tonight. Plays it to Bourque from his knees, and Dallas will dump it in. First preseason game here for the Stars. They've got 6 total on the schedule, 2 against St. Louis. With the first one coming here this evening, but Dallas called offside.
We got a new guy behind the bench here with the slicked hair, looking good, just got a new haircut. Glenn Gulletson, Western Canadian kid. 7 years he was with the Edmonton Oilers as an assistant coach, 2 with Calgary as a head. So over the last 9 years, he's really developed, experienced a lot. Much different than over a decade ago here with the Dallas Stars. Stronger, more confident, and understands what he needs to do with this squad.
His first NHL head coaching stint was with these Dallas Stars. It has come full circle here. Jamie Benn a part of both of those stints. As Dallas controls here in the offensive zone, Justin Ritzkovian. Now Oscar Beck controlling. Protecting the puck off to the corner, finally forced free by the Blues. And Kyle Capobianco will chase it down inside the Dallas zone.
And every coach wants to get the process in, and that's what they're doing for training camp. Make sure everybody understands it. Make sure everybody, it's instinct they want to run on, not to have to think to where they have to be on the ice.
Stars force the turnover. Strangus looking for the feed in front. Comes out to Lundqvist. He'll snap it wide. Logan Mailloux controls the loose puck for the Blues. Glenn Gulletson not the only new person behind the Dallas bench. Neil Graham promoted from the American Hockey League and very familiar with a handful of players on this training camp roster for the Stars. 32 players in training camp have played for the new Dallas assistant during his time in the American Hockey League. Niels Lundqvist is not one of those players controlling right now. Arttu Huru is, as he holds inside the Dallas line. Vladislav Kolyachonok, a newcomer to this Dallas organization. Acquired from Pittsburgh in a trade involving Matt Dumba and a second-round pick over the summer by Jim Nill. He'll dump it in. Picked up by Broberg. Contact initiated by Steele. As the puck continues to squirt free around the St. Louis zone, Stars hold it in. Blackwell couldn't maintain that possession inside the blue line. Stars will reset.
Still seeing that helter-skelter with movement and passes. Guys are just trying to get up speed with this added body contact. It'll take a couple periods for these guys to get going.
Yeah, it won't be one period. It'll be for the majority of this game usually. That first preseason game, there is a lot of messiness as Trey Taylor for the Stars feeds it off. Effort in front was deflected down into the corner. This is Broberg protecting. Steele watching him. Sam Steele signed a 2-year contract extension with the Stars over the summer. He's set to begin his 3rd season.
In day 2 of camp, Glenn Gulletson, they really worked on their defensive posture, making sure everybody was in position. So we're going to make sure that when we watch tonight, how they handle it inside their own zone. That's one of the major focuses that we've seen early in this camp.
Cole Lind operating here offensively for the Stars. He was an interesting player to watch a year ago. Played in 5 preseason games for the Stars. Kind of a minor league veteran player, but he was finding a way to hang around as the puck squirts out in front, and Poirier is going to cover it up at the goalpost, stopping play. Cole Lind on the line with Radek Faksa. back in Dallas after spending last season with the St. Louis Blues and serving more than 600 games in a Dallas sweater for Radek Fox. It's good to see him back in his usual number 12.
Yeah, quite honestly, it was very hard for me to see him in that Blues outfit. And good to be back. He said it was a little bit weird, obviously, coming back, but then got back in the rhythm of it. Really feels like he's starting over, didn't leave at all. So Glenn Gulletson wants to be heavier, and we've got an altercation right now.
Justin Ritzkovian for the Stars, Nathan Walker for the Blues, right off the face-off. And the helmet for Ritzkovian is off as Walker is getting those right hands in. Ritzkovian's just trying to free himself up. Now we're in the football tackle position, and finally the linesman will step in.
Well, how about that?
Okay, Justin Ritzkovian trying to make an impression here for Stars GM Jim Nill.
Right off the hop, they must have talked about something, and gets the jab. Walker gets the jab in, and hey, quite honestly, that's what you have to do. You have to show management. You have to stand out. So what I tell young players, get a hit, go to the front of the net. You don't necessarily have to do this, but gets our attention because Ritzkovian is a guy that wants to come in here, make the team, and he's letting management know, this is what I want to do. I want to play here with the Dallas Stars.
Neil Graham, the Dallas assistant, chatting right there with Glenn Gulletson, called Ritzkovian an energy player. He was the AHL Rookie of the Year last season. Did get a couple of games with the Dallas Stars on an NHL call-up as the Stars look to move out in transition. Managed here by Lynn stepping in. Leaves it to Foxa. And the pass was into the skates of Lynn. Couldn't make anything happen. Blues will carry out the other way. Kolyachonok goes back to retrieve. He'll get there first. Stars able to beat the St. Louis forecheck. A little miscommunication again between Foxa and Lynn. Finally, Dallas dumps. Foxa will chase, and the Stars will change. William McIsaac beginning things for St. Louis now. Stepped in by Doria. It's fed across the blue paint. Good tie up by the Stars defensively. Matt Luff couldn't locate it. Things will skip back down to the St. Louis end. Dorian run into by Stranges. Now Fisher coughs it up. Stars hold it in at the line. Petrovic with a good stick. Swept off to the far side by Binnington. Once again cut off by Stranges. As both teams trade possession inside the St. Louis zone. Fisher looking for some space. Blues will make a change. Now it's Luff carrying it up the wing. Things roll back behind the net to Poirier. Capobianco, one of the top scoring point getters amongst blue liners in the American Hockey League last season. 5th in points overall. Justin Carbono. Now Holloway. Had his pocket picked by Bork, returned out to neutral. This is Broberg spinning out of pressure. Now Holloway will carry in. He and Philip Broberg, the two offer sheet recipients a couple of years ago. And a wrister from the slot by Holloway off the mark. Blackwell for the Stars looking to begin the rush. And Kolyachonok had it, but the Stars were a step too quick on the offside call. No score early on here in this preseason matchup. Dallas and St. Louis beginning hockey here at American Airlines Center. 6.5 gone from our opening period. No score between the Stars and the Blues in this first preseason matchup. Sevy, Stars want to see if players can play with pace, and that feels like something that plays right into Maverick Bourque's hands.
Yeah, the Stars lost some goals with Mason Marchment gone, Dodon Huff gone, Granlund. These are guys, if you look at 20-goal scorers. So what do? You look for your youth to come in and fill it out. He's got a great opportunity for Maverick. He wants to be an impact player every night. He talked about not just scoring. We talked to Neil Graham, the assistant coach for the Stars today, and he said Maverick is a guy with one of the highest IQs that he's ever coached, and that means 200 feet, defensively, offensively. So he aims to be more involved offensively. And Mev said he was a little cautious last year, a little bit too cautious. He wants to get in there, play hard, create some offense, get more ice time, and that'll benefit the Dallas Stars if he can do that.
He was the MVP of the American Hockey League 2 years ago before having his first full season last year with Dallas. And looking to build on that as the Stars nearly cashed in on a turnover, skipping awkwardly off the boards behind the net. Instead, things get angled down inside the Dallas zone. Here's Lundqvist. Now leaving it here in the quarter. Faksa comes in to support, and the crowd builds on top. Back to Mailloux for the Blues. Working with Broberg. Trying to open up a shooting lane. He does. Poirier the save. The rebound loses. It kicks behind the net.
Poirier had to be strong on those two bids in front of the net.
Things getting a little helter-skelter, as you said, Sevy, for both goaltenders here recently. Broberg for the Blues now looking to flip it out. He will. Skipping past Petrovic. Plays it off to Trey Taylor. And he will swing it in behind the net of Bennington. Stars on the forecheck. Couldn't force the turnover. Instead, it's pushed out by St. Louis. There's Petrovic forcing things off. Handled here by Oscar Beck, entering his second season now. He was a rookie last year along with Maverick Bourque. R2 Huru gets a hold here at the center ice logo. Dallas resetting. As Beck will slide it in. Well, offside called against. Cole Lind called offside. The Stars had a couple of looks in this game already, including one, Sevy, that took an awkward hop and ate up Jordan Binnington a little bit.
Yeah, what an opportunity here for Ernie in front of the net. Some hard work. Oh my goodness, putting it off the pad of Bennington. And other side, a really skilled forward, Matthew Pekka. Look at this, pulls it off. Oh, he was unable to corral it. Bounces off of Remy Poirier. Both goaltenders had to show a little bit of feet movement in those two saves.
Adam Ernie, 379 NHL games in his career. He's in training camp with the Stars on a professional tryout agreement. Played 10 games last season with Hartford of the American League, but injury shortening his year as Antonio Strangis's look was kicked away by Bennington. The Stars looking to get the cycle going again. Neil Hemming. Now Uru gets a hold. It's cut off here by Dvorsky. High-end prospect for this St. Louis team, Dalibor Dvorsky, along with Justin Carboneau, who are playing together on a line tonight. Poirier will block her off a puck from center ice. So loose all the way back in the St. Louis zone. An opportunity for both teams to change. We're not quite 9 minutes into our first period and no score here. First preseason game for both of these clubs before the regular season begins in a couple of weeks. Stars with the turnover. Feed from Blackwell was blocked. Now Holloway will chip and chase. Well, Lundqvist trying to play it off. It was into the skates of Holloway. That gives Carboneau an opportunity. Back to Holloway. Dancing through traffic, lays it off, and a wrister is knocked down by Poirier, holding on. Jumping up was Theo Lindstein looking for the offering.
We're going to show you a little fancy footwork here. So impressed by these players, their ability to skate, work with the puck. Just look at that, a little 10 and 2 they call it. He is so good at manipulating those feet. Now watch here. It's a way to face the goalie. You open up, you can still maintain speed. That's one thing he's known for, is this great skating ability. The 23-year-old, he's got to put the whole game in because he's got some great skill. You got to be able to play both ends of the ice and create offense and not put your team at risk. So he's got to work on that as a professional player. But man, he can really skate.
Bourque cutting things off as the feedback to Broberg ends up in neutral ice. So Blues trying to turn things around quickly. Here's Mailloux. Wraps it around the end wall of the Dallas zone. Cut off here by the Stars, muscled out by Faksa. Going up against Alexei Toropchenko. They were line mates last season with this Blues team.
Two big bodies, and that's why Faksa, of course, was brought in. They wanted to be a little bit more physical, a little tougher along the boards.
Toropchenko was second in hits on the Blues last season. The man ahead of him was Nathan Walker, who had the fight earlier in this period against Justin Ritzkovian. As Nathan Bastian will step in front. Signed a one-year contract this summer with the Stars, coming over from the New Jersey Devils. I imagine we'll see Bastian and Faksa on a line more often than not this season for Glenn Gulletson. That's how it's looked in training camp through the first 2 days. It's held here by McIsaac. Crossing feet off to Kessel for the Blues. And his wrister is deflected over the glass and out of play. No score here with 9:25 left in the first. Dallas Stars preseason hockey is back here on Victory Plus. No score midway through our first period between the Stars and the Blues.
Nathan Bastian right there, big body. A guy that every time he's out there, you're going to notice him. He's 5 years in New Jersey with a little pit stop with the Seattle Kraken, but he's a guy that is going to run around a little bit, and you wanted guys to be tougher. And when Gulletson talks about 1% tougher, he means along the boards, he means in front of the net. But Bastian is a guy that's going to get out there, give you a little bit of penalty kill time as well. But he's a guy that's definitely going to give you a little bit in body checking and that physical presence, maybe that we're going to see a little bit more from this Stars team.
No one had more hits on the New Jersey Devils over the last 4 years combined than Nathan Bastian, as a tip effort in front is absorbed by Binnington, stopping things in the St. Louis zone. It's time for some Texas hockey. The Dallas Stars are bringing grit, speed, and the heart of the Lone Star State to American Airlines Center every single game, and you do not want to miss a second. Single game tickets are on sale now at DallasStars.com.
So we're going to watch here a nice little tip in front of the net. Little shot there. That's what you want. That's the 1% that Gully wants in front of the net, driving traffic. Don't be afraid to mess around a little bit, and right there an opportunity to get the puck into the net.
Nathan Walker and Justin Ritzkovian have vacated the boxes from their fighting majors, and they were right after it on the faceoff on that following shift as Ritzkovian leaves it here to Kolyachonok. Stars try to touch past their way out to neutral. It was out of the reach of Ritzkovian. So Mailloux will set things up for the Blues. Swung in. Oberg looking to get a hold. Kaskimaki trying to step around Huru and shovel the puck in front. That effort blocked. Trey Taylor for the Stars is going to lock him up along the corner wall. Four-man scrum, two players on each side, still hunting for this puck. Finally, a little bit of space for Huru. They lose it to Kolyachonok. Floats things out to Stranges at center. Couldn't settle down the airmailed puck, so St. Louis in transition the other way. Led forward. Here's a little bit of space for Matthew Pekka, and his shot steered wide.
A nice gap control right there by the Stars defensemen. Stars are doing a good job when you look at battles along the wall, getting to pucks first. They're really doing a good job.
Bad angle effort from Stranges trying to catch Jordan Binnington off guard a little bit, but the veteran netminder for the Blues able to hold on.
You know, when you look at young players and kind of what they have to do, people like Stranges, you got to learn how to make plays at the NHL level. They can do it at the American Hockey League level. They've done it in junior. And they also got to show that they're reliable, trustworthy on both ends of the ice. So even though that the Stars are pretty much know what their lineup is going to be, their roster, these young players out here, you're trying to build the confidence of your management, your coaches. And it's important what they're doing here today. It's a long process and you got to be consistent, but it starts with these games for these young players.
43 points last year in the American League for Stranges. His production in the AHL doubled from 2 years ago to last season as Maverick Board sets it up on the doorstep, and a sliding save by Binnington. Sam Steele denied on the point-blank chance. Best look at the game so far with 7:20 left in our first period and no score. Steele trying to protect in the corner here for the Stars. And now Bork tied up. Things rolling back inside the Dallas zone. Kyle Capobianco drifting back. Instead, Poirier will play it off to Alex Petrovic. Capobianco will take it himself and dump it around the end wall. Bastian trying to tie it up. Fox digging in there. Battling with Nathan Walker, his other line mate last season in St. Louis, along with Toropchenko. So they'll skip past Taylor, and that gives the Blues an opportunity. Crossing feed, punched in front, the puck deflected behind. It's cut off by Gavin White, trying to clear. The Blues hold it in. Managed here by Sasuyev. They'll lay it down into the corner for Luff. Swallowed up by Taylor. Taylor played in all 14 playoff games for the AHL's Texas Stars last year. That's after graduating from Clarkson University. As a scrum on the side of the net frees up the puck for Binnington to cover.
Stars have done a good job of getting pucks toward the net. And how about that chance by Steele on the back door? Bork moves it up to Blackwell. Blackwell Look at Bork fending off the Kessel, the defenseman, and oh, what a beautiful play. That's the confidence right there that we saw from Bork. Look at the quick feet from Binnington first. Oh boy. We know he can do that and come across. Sam Steele's a versatile player, can play all over the place. And obviously with this Dallas Stars team, one of the better skaters. You know, we don't talk enough about what he can do with the wheels. He's always outstanding. I love the way he plays. And at 27 years old, really has helped this Stars team, and they're hoping that he can hop up and kind of maybe fill in a spot upper in the lineup as this thing moves along this season.
Signed a 2-year extension with the Stars over the summer. He was their top penalty killing forward a season ago. Averaged just under 2 minutes of PK time for the Stars. And really one of the better penalty killing forwards you will see in the NHL in Sam Steele. Long outlet feed for Ritzkovian. That was off the stick of Lundqvist. Somebody lost their lumber on the play. It was Ritzkovian. Lundqvist with another outlet, tipped in by Lind, down behind Binnington. Stars will change as the Stars are being outshot 5-3 in this first period. 5:20 to go with no score.
You know, Sam Steele too as well. They've tried him with Duchesne and Sagan in the first couple days at camp. Again, looking for someone for that line with Mason Marchment out of the lineup. Sam Steele, they're looking for him and his skating ability on that side.
Blues are in transition. It's managed here by Toropchenko. Big body out there to shield the puck at 6'6", 220 pounds. Forced into the wall as the scrum builds on top of the puck again. Gavin White for the Stars trying to strip it free. It comes out on the Blues side. Well, being protected here by Kaskamaki. Once again, muscled away by the Stars, but not out. Matthew Kessel protecting along the line. Down to Lindstein. Capo Bianco taking it back for the Stars. Here's Emil Hemming, had it stripped away by Kessel. Now Kaskamaki trying to dance through traffic. Half-hearted shot kicked away by Poirier.
That's the situation that Gulletson and his crew had worked on yesterday. Exactly that, where they should be positionally, where they should go. Broke down a little bit there, so that's again those little nuances that the new coaching staff will work on.
Matthew Peca getting there first on a foot race. Jumps it off here to the quarter. Now Yetko trying to keep possession alive for the Blues. Instead, it's Alex Petrovic coming out with it. Spinning pass picked off. Little hot potato as neither team wants to get clean control of the puck here inside the Dallas zone. Finally, it's the Stars on the breakout. This is Taylor. Up to Steele. Great A chance stolen from Binnington moments ago. Can he find another one? Steele operates. Now Blackwell. Back to Taylor. One-timer through a couple of bodies as it rolls off to the right side. Another look knocked away by Binnington. As Peca tries to shield his way through traffic. Clears it back out to center. Bork for the Stars. Wanted to lead Blackwell in. The pass a little too high. Lundqvist on the reload. Off to Ernie up the left side. Low wrister kicked away by Binnington. The rebound corralled here by Mailloux. Now Sasuyev under pressure from Kolyachonok. Reversing things off to the far side. Skip past Lundqvist. It dies in front of the Dallas bench after hitting a pile of snow. Just under 3 minutes left in this first period. No score as Foxel will step in for the Stars now, protecting from Fisher. Spun out of the hit, laid it behind the net. Nobody there for the Stars. St. Louis takes over. It's Luff. Drifting in, looking for some space, and the wrister into the breadbasket of Poirier. So Sam Steele with the best look of this game so far, but both goaltenders have shut the door late in our first period. No score between Dallas and St. Louis.
Welcome back to American Airlines Centers. We don't have any goals here. Brian knows I love my defenseman. Trey Taylor, Clarkson College. He came in to the Texas Stars. 24 games, 10 regular season, 14, and he has impressed the staff. Gets a couple opportunity, or a opportunity here in this one. He is a guy that can skate. He can shoot. He's not a high offensive guy, but he's a guy that we're going to be talking about, and at some point, I believe he will be up here with this Dallas Stars team because of the skill and maturity that he has.
He has been the name most said by coaches and players between the rookie prospect series against Detroit last weekend And in this game today, Kyle Capobianco said his skating and his maturity is what separated him last year in the American League. Could he be a depth call-up option for the Stars as soon as this season? We will certainly see as the Blues step in. This is Justin Carbonneau. Snapped it off, but tipped away by a Dallas stick. Stars are on the move. Oscar Beck wanted to lead it forward for Ritzkovian. Instead, he'll play the shoulder to try and gain possession. Staying with it, but finally muscled off the puck. As the Blues look for a slow exit, it's Carbonneau. Trying to set something up for Dvorsky. Instead, Dallas will take it back inside their end.
The only issue that the Stars are having right now is that long pass up. When they try to skate at the Blues through their neutral zone, they're shutting it down. So the Stars have to be careful with that long lead pass that is allowing them to enter the offensive zone.
Here's Toropchenko trying to move it forward to Walker. Toropchenko looks for some space, drifting down into the corner. Got to pivot his way out of two green jerseys. Instead, Taylor stabs it free. But the Blues hold in. At the line, Broberg tees off the slapper. Blocker saved by Poirier, lost his stick on the play. Gavin White sweeps it back to his goaltender on the Dallas side. Arister knocked down by bodies in front. As it's managed here by Kaskimaki for the Blues. Final minute of our opening period. Toropchenko protecting. Taylor had the stick draped around the midsection. The delayed call against the Stars is coming as St. Louis holds deep in the Dallas zone. It's Broberg. Extra attacker is on. Loose puck between the circles, and it's touched by Hemming, stopping play.
Well, we're bumping up Trey Taylor, and he
it's our fault.
Yep.
We did it.
He comes out and gets that stick involved. And we'll look at the penalty right here. Reaching in, a little bit of a bear hug. Yeah, he just got his stick caught in there a little bit and underneath the armpit. Anytime that happens, when you get the stick up on the opponent's stick or in his hands, referee's going to call it. So here's our first look at the specialty teams for both sides.
Dallas Stars have been one of the NHL's best penalty-killing franchises over the last couple of years. They were tied for fourth in the NHL last year at 82%. Now a bit of a delayed puck drop on the face-off, so we'll do it all over again, but we'll see what this first penalty kill looks like for Dallas. Only 38 seconds remain in this period. The Stars just need to get to the end out of that. They win the draw and they clear it the length of the ice. That's the good start they want.
Yeah, with Essa Lindell and the rest of the crew, it's been an absolute staple of this team and why it's been so successful over the past several years.
Well, the Blues on the rush. Holloway trying to set it up on the doorstep. It was knocked away by Kolyachonok. Couldn't clear, but does tie things up. Now Petrovic. His clearing effort ends up into the seats. Look out. 11 seconds left in this first period now with the face-off inside the Dallas zone.
Yeah, I believe that was Colin Blackwell on the back door of that last play, driving down. Defense has to take the guy driving to the net, and it's a responsibility of the forward to come down and make sure it doesn't go side to side. Another reason that the Stars have been so good in that area.
Sam Steele was the top penalty-killing forward for Dallas last season. Colin Blackwell was the second, right behind him.
Yeah, you really got to be able, sorry Brian, you really got to be able to skate. Both those guys can do that.
Radek Fox is going to join that trio as well this season in the penalty kill, most likely. So the horn sounds, period one is in the books. No score, but a couple of good opportunities on each side as Sevy, we are kicking off the preseason slate here between the Stars and the Blues.
It's great to be back at the American Airlines Centers. You get the smell, the sounds. It's great to see, and I love watching these young kids. It's good to see the very first period of the season. I got high expectations, as many fans do, for the year, and it starts today with the new coaching staff and some of the younger players. This has been fun.
And no goals, but we did have a fight, so the Blues and the Stars are looking like the Blues and the Stars, even though it's preseason. There was a lot to enjoy from that first period, but we've got a lot to break down coming up right after this. Well, Glenn Gulletson has his first period as Dallas Stars head coach in the books. Nothing to show for it, Sevy, but if you're looking at maybe what stood out in that first period for me, I think it was the forecheck and what Dallas was doing below the face-off dots.
Yeah, watching what they did over these first 2 days, I was watching the structure in several areas, whether it was how they worked in the corner, and I also mentioned the defensive zone, the structure they're looking for. Gully knows it's going to take time. He says he's not going to reinvent the wheel with this team. This is a good team. He wants to make small adjustments. He wants to make sure everybody's on board with that. and he's going to go from there. This is just the process to build the mindset that eventually playoffs, really, this is what they're going to be working for, even starting now in September. Strong playoffs, it starts now with building the foundation for that.
Spent the last 7 seasons as an assistant with the Edmonton Oilers. Said 4 days after the Stanley Cup final ended with Edmonton falling to Florida, he was interviewing for this Dallas Stars job. So there was no time off after that setback of the second straight Stanley Cup final loss to the Panthers, as the Blues dump it in behind the net to Poirier, who looked very good for Dallas in the first period of play. Jordan Binnington getting the start for the Blues in this one as the Blues operate offensively. This is Justin Carboneau. He was their top pick this summer. Dylan Holloway slides it back. Now off to Carboneau again. With some space. Little happy hands as he lost the puck with the opportunity to let it rip. Instead, it ends up at neutral ice. Petrovic stepping in front of Dvorsky. And the Blues take it back. It rolls all the way out to Mailloux. Down to Carboneau. Power play here for the Blues early on, and Carboneau scores. Snuck it through the leg pads of Poirier on the shot off the wing.
Yeah, you want to talk patience in this one. Justin Carboneau had some time off. First of all, some real nice movement from this St. Louis team. Mailloux there. Oh, it's a no-looker by Carboneau. Puck comes across. See where he's looking. Yeah, may even be tipped in front. I'm not sure. But Carboneau, the 18-year-old first rounder in 2025. He had some bodies in front of the net, threw it towards the net. Quebec Major Junior, first All-Star, over 3 seasons, 168 points. Kid can put the biscuit in the basket.
46 goals, 89 points a year ago in the Quebec League. He was second in that league in both of those categories. And he has the first goal of the preseason for the St. Louis Blues on that power play strike. So Dallas, they'll have to try and even things up here. It's managed by Kessel deep in the St. Louis zone. Cut off by Lundqvist at the circle. Now Steele stepping back in. So leaves it to Lundqvist. Now it rolls down into the corner.
It's obviously a major breakdown in the penalty kill with that much time and that much space for Carboneau.
Colin Blackwell played it around the wall, but Trey Taylor couldn't get there in time. As Lundqvist is the first man back for the Stars. Long feed to Bork, picked up by Beck. Runs into the linesman along with Cole Lynn, but Dallas somehow maintains control down the wall. As Beck is looking to shield. Back to Gavin White. Now Capobianco's shot snatched out of the air by Binnington.
Capobianco is another one of those skilled defensemen on the back end for the Dallas Stars. Gets an opportunity. Some good work along the wall by Beck. Signed that new contract, and Capobianco with Lind in front of the net sends it there, but Binnington, no problem catching that one.
It's a 2-year contract extension for Oscar Beck after his rookie season last year in Dallas. Capobianco, rink wide to White. His shot catches a body, it ends up behind the net. Ritz Colvien recovers, back to Gavin White. Those two were teammates last year in the American Hockey League. Well, Ritz Colvien lost his stick trying to hold control. Well, Lynn takes a hard hit from behind to try and jar that puck free. Back once again in on things. The Blues scored it free. They'll spin it down inside the Dallas zone. White getting there ahead of Toropchenko. That'll draw the icing call against St. Louis. Early power play goal in this second period for Justin Carboneau, the difference right now in this 1-0 score.
So Gavin White is one of those defensemen, again, trying to help out, make a name for himself as well. He's made a couple good plays, I thought, in today's game. He's one of those young 22-year-old guys, later round pick. First year with the Texas Stars in 49 games, contributed 11. Not a guy offensively that's going to get in there, but it's got to protect the middle of the ice.
Binnington with a clever play to keep the puck moving off the glove stop. So Poirier will lead this one to Petrovic on the far side of the Dallas zone. Stars looking for the quick exit. It got away from Stranges, sent back in by the Blues. Petrovic is run into by Robertson. Now R2 Huru's outlet feed was cut off and turned back in. Here's Taylor to Huru again. Now Strangis. He banks it off the wall out to center. Emil Hemming leaving this one to Huru, who was charging in. The pass was behind him.
We haven't seen the Stars charge up the ice very much in transition. It's more of been get the puck in, get it deep, and work it from there with this unit that they have on the ice.
Theo Lindstein begins the breakout for St. Louis. Ojeko to Dvorsky, who sails it in. Lundqvist back to receive. This is Faksa. Bring it up to Kolyachonok. Pokes it forward to Lundqvist. Skates the puck in himself. Trying to drop it off to Adam Ernie. Off the mark, and here comes Carbonneau back in. Already a goal in this one. Wanted to dance around Kolyachonok. Lost the puck on the play. Kolyachonok did a good job to kick it free as well.
Yeah, he didn't bite at all on that movement by Carbonneau. Kolyachonok, that's what he's got to do. Play strong defensively. Keep things to the outside and just kind of push those forwards wide.
Give the 18-year-old kid some credit for wanting to try and make a play like that.
Got to give it a try, right?
Absolutely. Well, here's Bastian on the forecheck. Couldn't find the puck. Instead, handled here by Holloway. Now Fisher. Carbonneau again coming back to retrieve. Long forehand pass steered in by Dvorsky. Now to give the Blues a chance to change. Jim Montgomery, the former Stars coach, in his second season now behind the bench for the Blues. Took over midway through last year before getting the Blues to the first round of the playoffs before they lost to Winnipeg. Dallas defeating that Winnipeg team in round 2. Logan Mailloux knocking a puck down in the middle of his own zone, outletting things to Luff. He'll stab it down inside the Dallas end. As White tries to free it up, nearly turned over in the middle of the Dallas zone. Stars do draw the delayed call against St. Louis, though. Floating things down, it bounces past Binnington. Capobianco recovers. Extra skater is on for the Stars. Capobianco had it skip off a skate out to center, couldn't hold it in. So Dallas is going to reload. Blackwell now to Lynn, looking for Sam Steele in space. The puck rolls free behind the St. Louis net. Now back to Steele. He's looking for White, spins away down low. This is Blackwell. His feet in front, deflects out to Capobianco. Managed by Lynn now. Capobianco. There's White. Feeds it in front, sticked away by Binnington. Recovered here by Lynn for the Stars. Extra attacker is on as the Stars pick up control off the broken stick on the Capobianco shot. Boy, for a moment there, it looked like St. Louis was going to have possession. Instead, the extra attacker plays on. Capobianco with a new piece of lumber. His centering feed to Blackwell, tipped aside.
This is going to be a power play in itself.
Finally, it's deflected out to center, and Capobianco on the back check, doing a good job to maintain control for the Stars. Finally, it's turned over to the Blues inside the St. Louis zone. What a stretch of extra attacker hockey as the Stars had the delayed penalty call. They're going on the power play. They trail 1-0 to the Blues right after this. 13:46 left in our second period. The Dallas Stars trailing the St. Louis Blues 1-0, but they are heading on the power play right now, Sevy.
Antoine Dorian takes the call on Blackwell. When you look at it, Nils Lundqvist, you know, he's excited. He's going to have a chance to play with Thomas Harley. You know, as I mentioned, the Stars only had 2 power play goals from their back end. We know that Miro Heiskanen will be a big part of it. We know that Harley will be a big part of the power play. And they want to give Lundqvist the opportunity to hopefully hop in there as well. So this is what they're looking at in preseason, and he's going to get a lot of opportunity to do this.
Stars win the draw. Lynn's shot was up high, blocked in front. As Lynn will play it around here to Maverick Bourque. Now handled by Huru. He was turning towards the net, had it stabbed away, cleared out by the Blues. How does Glenn Gulutzan handle a power play without Connor McDavid? It's a nice luxury to have when you're an assistant in Edmonton for 7 years.
It's true.
Just put that guy out there for 2 minutes. Stars will send it down into the corner of the St. Louis zone. It gets past Fritzkovian. Dallas, good second effort to maintain control. There's Bourque in a crowd. Back to Lundqvist, who holds it in. Now back to Lundqvist. Over to Bourque. Down low, Ritzkovian feeds it in front, bouncing in the blue paint, and it's covered up by Binnington. Had to reach behind to locate it. But another close call for the Stars, sniffed out by the St. Louis netminder.
Real nice job, first of all, by the Stars. Bork moves it across with Ritzkovian. And then, oh my goodness, look at the opportunity right there. We look like it, looking from the other side. Defenseman goes down, and Arturo gets a cross check in the back from Holloway as well. Stars execute properly. You want to find those openings. That's what we talked about with Neil Graham, who's going to now run the power play for the Stars. It's when these opportunities present themselves, that's when you want to jump on it. You want to make those chances and get the puck, or take those chances and get them toward the net. The Stars did that on that play right there.
Things will end up back at the Dallas end. Capobianco under some pressure, leaves it to Strangus. He'll push the effort up ice for the Stars. He can really skate. Decides to drop it off to Sam Steele instead, who plays it behind the St. Louis net. Strangus trying to muscle it in front. It was cut off and cleared out to center ice by Kaskimaki.
Yeah, these young players have not played against Jordan Binnington, who is so good at chasing down pucks behind the net. You got to make sure it's got a little meat on it if it's going around.
Steele shoved off the puck down the St. Louis zone, dumped out by the Blues. Half a minute to go in the power play for the Stars.
You were talking about McDavid and Gulletson being a coach from. Gulletson talked about it made him better. You have to be on when you're talking to Connor McDavid about what you're doing and how you're doing it as a coach. He said he was pushed constantly every day, talked to him quite often, and really appreciated the mind of a guy like Connor McDavid.
Well, Petrovic couldn't lead back into the St. Louis zone as the final seconds tick away on the Stars power play. It's still a 1-0 lead for the Blues. Nothing doing for the Stars on their first man advantage of the game. Hustled down by Fox in the corner. Plays it to himself all the way back to Petrovic. Now back to Taylor. His shot hits a couple of bodies in front, doesn't make it on net. Back to Taylor again. Well, faked the wrister and then muffined one as it ends up here in the corner. Petrovic's one-timer from the blue line flutters wide. Push back to Petrovic again. His shot floating through the air, and it was tipped on net as Binnington's able to knock it down. This is Ernie trying to get a hold for the Stars. Who's taken away? Finally get things out to center ice. Led forward as it's chased down here by Dorion. Cutting in front, and a pad save by Poirier. Dorion recovers again. He'll lay it to the front of the net. Through the blue paint and swatted away by the Stars. Now Lindstein plays it off to the corner. Puck trickling its way out to the point. Luff holds it in for St. Louis. Protected here now by Sasuyev. Lindstein shoots it wide of the net. It'll angle its way off to the far side. Maverick Bourque getting there first for the Stars. Cut off at the St. Louis line by the Blues. Dvorsky will return it in. Now Holloway trying to settle it down. Picked up by Blackwell. Dallas charging their way up neutral. Steele puts on the brakes. Spins it down behind the net. Bourque and Blackwell trying to chase it down. The crowd gathers on top. In comes Steele as the support man. Pinned to the wall by Lindstein. Now Blackwell shifting his way out of Broberg's poke check. Polyachanik at the line. White. He'll float one on net that's pulled out of the air by Binnington. The Blues have the 1-0 lead with 9:45 left in our second. Remy Poirier with a key stop, keeping it a 1-0 deficit for the Stars. Tonight, he's going to play the first 2 periods of this game before giving the goal off to Antoine Bibeau in the third, Sevy.
And what a play here. Antoine Dorion gets an opportunity, chugging by the defenseman of the Stars, and then pulls it in. You're going to see from this angle, he's a right-handed shot, so he drives the middle of the ice, and he was trying to pull it across, and Poirier comes across nicely, and that puck has got to go further out or elevate it quickly, but Poirier set up the big body, and outstanding job by him. He's played pretty well in this first tilt here for the Stars.
This will be his 5th year in the Dallas organization. You see the numbers from the Calder Cup playoffs a year ago. And you know you have Jake Ottinger and Casey DeSmith as the 1 and 2 up in Dallas. You wonder, is Poirier going to be the official number 3? in the event Dallas would need a goaltender call-up. Gavin White operating for Dallas, looking for Bastian. And the puck had deflected off a couple of players down behind Bennington's net.
And with condensed schedule that's happening, Brian, obviously you're going to injuries, rest. It's all going to be vital in this year's with the Olympics coming in. A lot of talk in the end around the Stars about scheduling and how that's going to work as the season progresses.
If there is a team that knows how to deal with a condensed schedule with the Olympics this year, it's Dallas, and the 10-day trip they had to Finland last year in the Global Series as Ernie's going to move in, snaps a wrister that Bennington caught a piece of, and the Blues recover the loose puck.
Adam Ernie has been all over the puck in this game.
He's looking for another chance in the NHL on a professional tryout with the Stars. Maverick Bourque on the forechecks, causing some problems in the St. Louis zone. And Dallas takes it back. Here's Lundqvist to Bourque, and his one-time effort sails well out of play. So Sevy, a little life coming from the Dallas forecheck and getting some opportunities here.
Adam Ernie again with a quick play up by the Dallas Stars. A left-hand shot. And what I like best about that play is the movement that he takes. He saw that the defenseman was off a little bit to one side, and Ernie, who's been around a little bit around the National Hockey League, when I looked at it, how about that, 379 games all the way from the Edmonton Oilers, Detroit Red Wings, Tampa Bay. So he's been around and he's looking for an opportunity to help the team. He's got that big body, and you can see he's got a little bit of knack. Puck is finding him in this game. 30 years old though, he's a veteran player trying to hop in with this Dallas Stars team.
When he signed a tryout with the Rangers last year, went down to their American League team at Hartford and actually dealt with a lower body injury that ended his season prematurely. So he's had to start things all over again. Blackwell controlling for the Stars. Finds some space for himself, leaves it to Lundqvist. High wrister, caught something in front and skipped past the net. Bennington lost track of it. Steele tries to get there first for Dallas. Instead, it's kicked out to neutral by Kaskimaki. Now Toropchenko for the Blues banks it down. Kaskimaki with space in front. The puck couldn't get there. Picked up by Lundqvist for the Stars. Now Capobianco with the 2-on-1. It's Steele controlling to Capobianco, and the puck was bouncing as it rolled over the blade of his stick. Stars have had a couple of odd man looks here.
I don't know if the pass was wobbling or it hit a patch of bad ice, but whatever happened there, unable to recover that puck on the great pass across.
There's Beck. Wanted to force it to the middle for Lind. Instead, it was sniffed out by the Blues, held in by Petrovic. Makes the shot, got Toropchenko to go down to try and block it. Now in the corner, it's Ritzkovian. He and Beck working. Back to Petrovic. Wanted to sail it towards the net front and was knocked down. Ritzkovian again looking to chase things down, and the Stars regain control. Petrovic. Off here to Taylor. He'll step down into the corner, shifting behind the net. All the way out to the right side. Threw it on net, and the door was shut by Bennington, giving us a face-off inside the St. Louis zone. Watch the Western Hockey League and all its action for free on Victory Plus this season. Every WHL team, every WHL game. Hockey's future stars are streaming on Victory Plus.
Nice play up the ice here. They'll steal with a cross. Capobianco just couldn't handle it. The puck had been elevated a little bit from Sam Steele. Real nice job by Steele to move that puck across. I just love the way he skates. The way he moves that puck up, it's unbelievable.
See, our crew's having fun because Sam Steele was a Western League player, and then he gets his play broken down by Brent Severin, who was a Western League player. And there is no other junior hockey league that exists on this planet to Sevy outside of the Western League. Just ask him. He'll tell you.
Yep, Regina Pats. Many years with them. Put up some great numbers he did. Over 80 goals in his last 2 seasons for Sam Steele. So he's a guy, if you remember, first round, 2016, had some opportunities. But yeah, man, he can skate, he can move the puck, we can move him up and down the lineup. Like we said, he may have an opportunity, or they're going to try him. And that's one thing that Gulletson wants to do for him, is look where he can put guys in lineups. He says he likes to put guys in pairs, as most coaches do. He's going to try Sam Steele with Duchesne and Tyler Seguin on that line.
Led Canadian junior hockey with 131 points. Highly skilled player and a first-round pick of the Ducks, as Sevi said. But you get to the NHL and things change. He really found a role for himself as a middle six or a bottom six penalty-killing forward, and he can step up when you need him to play maybe more of an offensive position, but he is that penalty-killing style forward now.
It is tough to score goals in the National Hockey League. It is not easy, and when you look at those kind of numbers, you're like, oh, that's going to transfer to the NHL. That doesn't always happen. So he's finding nicely. He does a lot of good things for this team. As you mentioned, the penalty kill and some strong defensive work.
Entering his third season with the Dallas Stars, the shot by Kolyachonok was blocked, stays with it. Fox is trying to spin it in front. Instead, it ends up on the stick of Ernie. He'll protect out to the corner. Back to Bourque. Now Kolyachonok sets up the one-timer. The blast knocked down by the blocker. Binnington and the rebound scores! Maverick Bourque on the doorstep found the second chance in front, and Dallas has tied it up at 1.
Yeah, we showed a package when we first started this game of Bourque and how he gets his goals. This is prime example. Petrovic with the bomb. Ernie's in front of the net, and look, right there, it's Bourque just lurking out. And to me, it looks like an easy goal, but these goal scorers, their ability to find loose pucks off goaltenders with bodies in front, falls in front of him, he's able to grab it, put it in. That's why it helps. You know, he has an opportunity to play that left side as a right shot. And because he's a right-hand shot, that puck is right there for him.
11 goals a season ago for Maverick Bourque. He has the first one of the preseason for the Dallas Stars this year. And we've got an even hockey game with just over 5 minutes to play in our second period. Dallas out shooting St. Louis 18-10 at this point in the game right now. As the scrum builds on top, the puck will bounce in front. Blues come out with it. And then Pekka's opportunity to dump it in. Fanned on the first one. Second opportunity is inside the Dallas zone for a moment. Now Blackwell in transition. He's got Bourque behind him, and now Petrovic. He's shot off a St. Louis stick. It'll carry its way back to Bourque. Behind the net for Steele. He's run into by a couple of white jerseys and forced off the puck. Cole Lind off the bench trying to keep it alive for the Stars, and he does. Here's White. This blast caught a St. Louis skate. And then White lost his footing on top of the puck. Pekka tried to poke it free, finally will. Back inside the Dallas zone. As Lind couldn't do anything with it. Returned the opposite way by the Blues. Long feed out to center by Dallas, ends up inside the St. Louis zone. Broberg will settle it down. And the outlet to Holloway. The two former Edmonton Oilers hook it up there. As Carboneau tries to dance around White for the loose puck in the corner. Holloway follows up for St. Louis. Carboneau scored the opening goal for the Blues on the power play early in this second period. Maverick Bourque responding late here on an even strength tally.
It's been an early diet for the Stars in this second period. When the puck goes in, they make the pass out and get to it early.
Here's a quick chance in front, and it was high off the stick of Dvorsky. That is not the player you want to give space in front of the net to on this St. Louis side. And now Broberg will skate it back in. He tries to dance his way to the middle. Gets the shot off on the backhand, and Poirier the save, pouncing on the rebound. As 3:18 remains in our second period here, it's a 1-1 hockey game between the Stars and the Blues. Carboneau on the power play for St. Louis. And then it's Bourque for Dallas, even strength, and that is where we stand. 1-1 between St. Louis and Dallas. Philip Broberg trying to give the Blues the lead again. And Sevi, he is one of those players that really benefited getting out of Edmonton on that offer sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. And had a pretty good year last year, 67 games, putting up some of his best numbers. Career high in goals, assists, and points. Look at this little toe drag Terry right there, and nice little backhand play. Remy's been good in this game.
Remy Poirier playing the first and second periods of this preseason game as Blackwell will step in for the Stars. Centering feed to Bourque was no good. Antoine Bibeau, who is also on a professional tryout in training camp here with the Stars, he will take on the third. The shot for the blue line was tipped on net. Poirier able to make the save and cover.
Stars have done a real good job of activating the middle guy. in this second period, and that's where they've been able to create a lot. First period, we didn't see too much of that. I mentioned it, not too much off the rush, not too much happening. And Remy Poirier has been very good, especially lower. They just haven't been able to elevate that puck on this big goaltender. Obviously, they're the guy that they want to go to at the American Hockey League level. He was the guy last season, continues to put in a strong showing in today's tilt.
23 years old, 6'3", was a 6th round pick of the Stars in 2020, Remy Poirier. As the puck rolls free off the faceoff behind the Dallas net. Taylor trying to chop it out, cut off by the Blues, now followed up here by Faksa. So leads it forward, now Bastian looking to chase it down. Broberg will step in front of him for St. Louis. Ernie gets in there. Ernie and Petrovic with the assists on the Maverick Bourque goal a few minutes ago that tied this game at 1. As it comes back to the blue line for St. Louis. This is Logan Mailloux, picked up in a trade over the summer from the Montreal Canadiens for Zach Bolduc. Now Dvorsky holding. Out to Holloway. And his shot from the blue line sails over the glass and out of play. With just over 2 minutes left in this second period. Semi, Dylan Holloway, that other player that came from Edmonton, signing that offer sheet 2 years ago with St. Louis, he also had a breakout season with his 26 goals, but his season actually ended early due to a lower body injury. You wonder what would happen in that first round series with the Blues in Winnipeg that went 7 if he was a part of it.
Yeah, and like the Stars, unsuccessful in the playoffs. They didn't like the way that finished. Up in that Game 7, Winnipeg comes back and scores with seconds remaining. It was a dagger in the heart, but Holloway could have been one of those kids that could have made a difference in that series for sure.
So the Stars chasing on the forecheck as Arttu Huru tries to disrupt things in the corner. Stranges as the puck squeaks out in front, and an in-tight chance denied by Binnington. Stranges stayed after it, but protected by Fisher, plays it off the wall and sent down inside the Dallas zone. Evan White with a couple of shoulder fakes to try and create some space. Instead, the Stars return it back inside the St. Louis end. This is Lind pursuing. Now Lundqvist sends it the opposite way for the Stars. 1:24 left in this second period. 1-1 score. Shots on goal well in favor of Dallas so far. As the Stars force a turnover, Bastian's shot had his stick obstructed with, and that sent things wide. So the Blues in transition. The far side, it's Robertson. Pekka trying to get there ahead of Lundqvist. Instead, the Stars D-man plays it first. Now Oscar Beck on the outlet.
Perfect example of the Stars have been getting out of their zone with good support, helping each other. Real nice job by the team in green right now.
Here comes Lindstein the opposite way for St. Louis. Too hot for Robertson to handle. The puck hitting the body of the linesman. Dallas will take advantage as Petrovic carries in. Lays it down into the corner. Steele getting there first. 34 left in the period. Back to Taylor. Now Bourque, his feet in front, skipping off a couple of bodies right up to the glove hand of Binnington. Colin Blackwell was looking for some space in front with 26.9 left.
Yeah, so far in this second period, the Stars have outshot the St. Louis Blues 11-4 in this period. So they've generated more. Like I said, much stronger in their own zone, supporting each other. And I can really see the small little things that Glenn Gulletson has been trying to implement. A simple thing like we're the third man. The third man high usually sticks up top of the circles, and it's where they put him. Different coaches want him in different areas. So offensively, you have to have, it's a support valve, a guy ready up top defensively in case they lose it. And the Stars have done that much better in this second period.
Sam Steele will take the faceoff, wins it. And the quick shot was fanned on by Bourque. As the Blues will take advantage, Mailloux now trapped between two green jerseys. Blackwell's feed comes out to Petrovic. 15 seconds left in the period. Petrovic's effort in front bounces back to him. Now fed in front again from the far side corner. Instead, it's cut off by the Blues. Airmailed down inside the Dallas line and actually hit the body of Steele. And as the Stars dump it out to center, Blackwell chasing, but he will run out of time as things expire here on the middle period of play. So a goal on each side. Justin Carbonneau for St. Louis, Maverick Bourque for the Dallas Stars. And Seb, we'll see what this third period looks like. An even hockey game for these two teams to try and send a message to management.
Yeah, Stars 5-on-5 was much better than the Blues in that. They gave up the power play goal to Carbonneau, but other than that, strong game by everybody in green. I think Glenn Gulletson and the crew happy with the adjustments that the kids made in that second period.
The new head coach, Glenn Gulletson, his first chance to see some of these players in live game action. Remy Poirier, very good for 2 periods, only gave up that lone power play goal. Antoine Bibeau will take over the net in the third. We'll break down that second period of a tie hockey game coming up next. First preseason matchup for the Dallas Stars, and they are tied at 1 with the St. Louis Blues. There will be a new goaltender on each side. Antoine Bibeau, who is in Dallas with a professional tryout agreement, will take over. After Remy Poirier took the first 2 periods, Colton Ellis will step in net for the St. Louis Blues, taking over for Jordan Binnington. And Sevi, we are looking for a go-ahead goal here if you're a Dallas Stars fan.
Yeah, the 31-year-old on our right here is a journeyman. He's happy to be here. Very nice talking with him this morning, and he's just looking for an opportunity here with the Stars, and we're all hoping for him and cheering for him in this one.
He has spent the last 2 years in Europe, both in the Swedish League and the Finnish Hockey League, the Liga, as the Stars try to bank it out off the near side boards. 225 career AHL games for Antoine Bibeau with 5 different organizations. As the Blues regain control in the offensive zone, cut off by Bork, banked out to center. And the foot race between Steele and Holloway. Well, Steele at least won the takedown. He didn't win the puck. And then on a second effort, he does force one in front that's steered away. As Broberg tries to send it in, knocked down by Petrovic. Blackwell, rink wide to Trey Taylor. Steps across the blue line. His shot off the body of Kessel and bounces behind. Back to Petrovic at the point. Takes the shot, leaves it into some space. Adam Ernie. Down to the corner and now plays it to himself. Back to Petrovic, the one-timer knocked down by Ellis, and he finds the loose change right in his leg pads.
Some good work up ice by Sam Steele in this one. Again, Petrovic has created a lot of shots in this. Look at Steele come down. It's the second effort. Gulletson, I don't know, no call there. It's a good call. And good non-call, I mean. And Steele uses that speed coming up ice, and that's what Glenn Gulletson is looking for, those extra effort. Set in playoffs, hand-to-hand combat, and that's what you're going to be trying to kind of get your team accustomed to right from the beginning of the season.
Matthew Kessel floats it in from neutral ice, blockered away by Bibeau. Originally drafted by the Toronto Maple Leafs. As the Stars look to turn things up ice, this is Bastian. His spinning effort was blocked and sent the opposite way. Adam Yako shielding the puck from Taylor. Now leaves it to Pekka. He's rubbed off the puck by Fox. The Stars trying to force it out. Instead, it ends up in their bench. And they'll put the face off at center ice.
And for Bibeau, the goaltender, he also had 14 games with our Allen Americans. Said he was up and down between the East Coast League team and there. So, yeah, when you look at his Hockey DB page, it's a lot of stops. I feel for him because I
love those guys. I love those guys. The suitcases, as you like to call them.
Be nice. Be nice, yes. We have to grind it out for sure, and he's one of those guys, but I tell you what, he appreciates everything that has been handed to him, and that's why so great to talk to him about it this morning.
They are some of the best success stories when you talk to players. Guys who have gone through that kind of journey, at Antoine Bibeau in net for the Dallas Stars here in this third period. Capobianco couldn't cut it off inside the St. Louis zone. Dallas on the reset. Lynn couldn't settle it down, but Oscar Beck's going to get there first. Had the head of steam and used it to gain possession. Back to Capobianco at the point. His wrister deflected in front, and it flutters wide. Or it's Colvian with his stick on the ice, caught a piece. And now a drive by White, butterflied away by Ellis. New netminder for the Blues as well in this third period. Nowhere near the minor league journey that Antoine Bibeau on the Dallas side has handled. Colton Ellis, a 2019 third-round pick of the Blues. 42 games last year with the AHL Springfield
So one of the things that's going to be different with this coaching staff is, whereas DeBoer, he wanted that puck up immediately. You could see with the change happening, though, you're going to see more delay, more reads, try to create something off these defensemen kind of cutting it across and moving the puck up ice.
Vorobchenko trying to create the odd man rush. The centering feed is loose underneath the leg pads of Bibo as it was jabbed at by Walker, and finally play whistle dead. Vorobchenko using that long reach to try and funnel it in front. It ended up underneath the leg pad of Bibo, and Sammy, I don't know if he ever had it secure.
I know, Bibo is not moving. We're trying to say, some of the St. Louis players are talking to Bibo and see if that thing was in, and the referee. We're going to need a better look for it, and look at, there it is. Comes down. Can't see it from this angle, but it's that right foot that goes snugly up against the post. And there's no way you'd be able to see that puck at all, and real nice job to keep that in as some of the St. Louis players come in and stab at it.
Have we ever seen a coach's challenge in a preseason game?
I'm rolling my eyes at you right now. I hope not. Exactly. Oh, look at you.
No way. No way are they going to do this. You see Glenn Gullitz taking a look.
Way to go, Brian. Everything was good.
I don't ever remember seeing one.
There's no way you're going to be able to see that puck either.
It's training camp for the video coaches.
This is true. They have a new room.
All right, you're lucky. No coach's challenge. Lundqvist controlling off the draw for the Stars. And an errant pass out to center gets cut off, so the Blues will take over. Here's Holloway. Plays it forward as Carbonneau will slowly drift it in. Now pulled out of the air by Kolyachonok. Shovels the backhand feed up to the red line. Stranges follows up and clears it in the rest of the way. Ellis settles it down behind the St. Louis net. Cut off at the line by Petrovic. Good hustle off the Dallas bench. Stranges centering feed. One-timer, and Huru was denied. Ellis shut the door right along that post. Stars dig it free out of the scrum. Hemming back to the blue line for Petrovic. He tried to open up the shooting lane and no success. A long pass to Stranges as the Stars had a player offside. Stranges had a clear lane but couldn't take advantage of it. Now both teams will finish off their line changes. We're just over 4 minutes into this third period. A 1-1 score. Justin Carbonneau for the Blues. Maverick Bourque for the Stars. As the Blues get there first on the forecheck. Petrovic with good position to break it up. St. Louis on the cycle. Back to Kessel at the line. We'll bank it off the boards over to the far corner. Stars dig it free. Here's Bourque. Leads it ahead. Sam Steele couldn't locate it. It rolls inside the St. Louis zone. An icing call and a face-off back at the Dallas end. Well, it's time for some Texas hockey. The Dallas Stars are bringing grit, speed, and the heart of the Lone Star State to American Airlines Center every single game. You do not want to miss a second. Single game tickets, they are on sale now at DallasStars.com.
One of the other areas, when you think about this increased compete level that the coaching staff is looking for, is right there in the face-off. And 73% here in this game. It's a small thing, but it's something that the Stars will look to be the best that they can at. And they have been over the years, but they want to continue being strong at that face-off circle.
Well, they nearly coughed up an odd man rush off the misplayed puck at center. Instead, Yako tries to turn it back again for St. Louis. Pocket picked by Steele. In come the Stars. Blackwell with speed. Couldn't settle down the bouncing puck. Had to chase it behind. That allows the Blues the opportunity to regain. Now it's deflected on the crossing feed. Maverick Bourque nearly picked up a juicy opportunity. Instead, it's the Blues who settle down in their own zone. Lindstein off to Kessel. So the Blues patiently waiting to exit their zone. Kessel still holding. Finally wraps it around the end wall of Dallas territory. As White moves it back to Capobianco. Had to make a quick play in tight space. Does so to Foxa. Now White with some space. He'll carry across the St. Louis line. Ernie centering feed out of the reach of Bastian. Off the crossing feed. One-timer from the point. Hits a body and sails off the mark. Back to White. Capobianco. He'll walk the blue line. puck trickles its way out to center.
Dallas and its defensemen very effective with that D-to-D pass, getting pucks toward the net. Really from the second period on, that low to high play with the defenseman shot has been working for him.
Adam Ernie trying to trap the puck in the corner. He'll battle with Fisher. Bastian wanted to play it to himself in front. Instead, Ellis will cover. As 13:50 remains in this third period and a 1-1 score. Colton Ellis taking the net over for the Blues in this third period. More coming up next. Second round by Tampa Bay, and he is trying to extend his NHL career with a tryout agreement with the Stars this season 7.
Yeah, he's a big body, so he's going to get towards the net. You wonder how he got here? Well, he played for the Edmonton Oilers in 23 and 24. He can use that body effectively. You know, as the assistant coach, Glenn Gulletson. So Gully has a little bit of a look at him, and you can see he's really had the puck in today's game. Drove the net, got some opportunities, got some shots, and there you see it, 41 goals and over 300, well, he has 379 NHL games. As you mentioned, the injury and then stepping in this year, but Gulletson knows him well, and they're going to give him an opportunity to be a depth player for this squad.
Just 10 games last season in the American Hockey League before that lower body injury ended his season. So Adam Ernie trying to get back to an NHL organization, and he's going to start with the tryout agreement here in training camp with the Stars. Injuries happen all over the league at different times, so you never know when the phone may ring. That's why a lot of these players dive into tryout agreements with teams in training camp.
I've been sitting at that phone for 20 years now. Nobody's calling.
Keep waiting, man.
Right.
I'm pulling for you. I think it's coming.
Thanks.
Kolyachonok from the red line will swing it around the St. Louis zone. As the Blues recover things first, they'll move out quickly. Dallas finishing off their change as Petrovic will hop on. And he's the first man to the puck behind the Dallas net. Outlet to Stranges. Easy little pass to Emil Hemming, and that springs things in for Taylor. Bad angle wrister from distance, but caught in the breadbasket by Ellis.
Yeah, it's those nifty little plays that we just saw here that the Stars have been so effective of getting the puck in. Gets along the boards, moves up to the wall, and you got Trey Taylor jumping down. Man, such a smooth skater, this kid. Just watching him fly up and down that left side. It's been fun to watch tonight. There's a guy named Scott LaChance that I played with the New York Islanders. If anybody knows him, you watch way too much hockey. But man, he skates exactly like Trey does. Big, long, lanky strides.
Well, Hubru on the cycle after winning the faceoff. Trying to work with Stranges here on a two-man play. Instead, St. Louis will break things up. And the Stars staying after it. Good follow-up by Stranges. Blues do evade that pressure and get it inside the offensive zone. Dylan Holloway chipping and chasing. Now it's Taylor for the Stars. Stranges trying to fight through the poke check by McIsaac. Uru able to regain for Dallas. Now Stranges in the corner. His feed in front was blocked. Out to center ice comes St. Louis. There's Holloway. Had to protect things from Capo Bianco. Cut off by Bibo behind the Dallas net. Stars take over in their own zone. Capo Bianco into the St. Louis end as the Stars bring on some fresh legs. Ellis cut it off, played it over to the far side, floated out to neutral. Now Steele leading things in for Bork. Through the circle, tight angled shot knocked down by Ellis. Sent the opposite way by the Blues. This will go for an icing call as we are starting to come up on the halfway point of our third period, and we are looking for the go-ahead goal from somebody here.
Yeah, since that first period, the St. Louis Blues have only had 6 shots. Reason for that is, again, we talked about the Stars' ability to move the puck up out of their own zone, creating options, good support, and then they make some nice entry. Bork as well, where a play that started down to our right inside the Star zone. Good read by the defenseman, quick up, allows Bork to get that puck towards the net down in front of the St. Louis Blues goaltender.
Well, Steele caught the better end of the draw, but Dallas couldn't do much with it. Do get another icing call against St. Louis, so Our pace here is starting to hit a few speed bumps, but if it's going to lead to offensive zone faceoffs for Dallas, I think Glenn Gulletson will take that every time.
Yeah, you're mentioning pace, and that was a big focus for him in the first few days, or first 2 days here. And we're seeing that. I think we're really seeing some good push up the ice, those long stretch passes with support. It's really showing the skating ability of the Stars in this game.
Stars controlling off the draw, a couple of touch passes, and Blackwell couldn't find Kolyachonok at the point. Here's Steele now. He lays it back to Kolyachonok. Floats it on net, covered up by Ellis again. Kolyachonok picked up in that Matt Dumba trade, along with a second-round pick over the summer. So it's preseason game 1 for Dallas and St. Louis tonight. Brent Severin and I will have the first 5 games on the slate. So the 2 against Minnesota, then Colorado and St. Louis again. Josh and Razor will dive in for that last one on October 4th against the Colorado Avalanche as they will get themselves ready for the 25-26 season. But all the Stars preseason games are going to be right here on Victory Plus to enjoy. We've enjoyed this one so far. We enjoy just having hockey back. It's always too long, and a shot off the faceoff by Bastian denied. Knocked down by the glove hand of Ellis, but couldn't snare it cleanly. As Luff will dump it in for St. Louis. Now Lundqvist getting there. Instead, things return out to neutral ice. Here's Kessel. Up to Luff, undrafted veteran. He was with Charlotte and Springfield last year in the American Hockey League on the St. Louis side of things. Instead, Bastian for St. Louis will relay the puck in, and Ellis is forced to cover again with Radek Faksa lurking. Radek Faksa knows a couple of these players from a year ago, doesn't he, Sevy?
Yeah, it is really good to see Faksa back with this group. You know, the penalty kill, the heaviness along the wall. You can really use him in playoffs. Once it gets down to it, as Gulletson was saying, it's hand-to-hand combat. Who better than to do it than a big guy like Radek? He just is a star, isn't he?
He is. 70 games, 15 points, 5 goals. But Jim Montgomery was asked over the summer, with Radek Faksa out of your lineup, where do you find that face-off success? He is one of the better face-off players in the NHL. Just sometimes it's pure strength that he uses to win some of those draws. And that's Dallas's benefit, getting him back on that fourth line.
Yeah, you talk to the younger kids who do take face-offs, and they do mention the strength of these NHL players that take those draws and how difficult it is to manage them.
Lynn controlling for the Stars deep in the St. Louis zone. Plays it around to Petrovic on that far side. And now Ritzkovian. Spun out of the pressure, but coughed it up to Lindstein. Taken back by Lind. Now Petrovic. It's trickled down to Lind in the corner. Looking for some open ice, back to Taylor at the blue line. His quick shot was blocked. As the Stars try to hold it in, it's swept out by the Blues. Petrovic will chase it down. Taylor stepping in with some speed, leaving this one now on a backhander by Huru, knocked down by Ellis. The rebound cleared out to the corner. And the Blues move their way through neutral. Here's Dvorsky, Carbonneau. He's the lone goal scorer for the Blues in this game. Wanted some space, couldn't locate it as Hemming takes it back for Dallas. And in comes Huru. Strangis. Cross ice dump recovered by Hemming. He feeds it out to the middle of the St. Louis zone. Nobody there in time. Kolyachonok recovers at the blue line for the Stars. Now taken away by Logan Mailloux. So St. Louis in transition. Carbonneau manage it, looking for Dvorsky. Holloway with a half-hearted shot. Trickles across the net mouth. Instead, it rolls off here to the corner now as Lundqvist will free it up for the Stars. Steele again in a foot race, putting some pressure on.
It has been quite some time since we've seen a shot on net by this Blues team. Again, Stars dominating, getting pucks in the offensive zone for the Blues.
Just 13 shots on goal for the St. Louis Blues in this game. Dallas is now up to 29. Steele couldn't do anything with the puck right at the St. Louis line. Out of the reach of Robertson. Dallas back in. It's led forward, and then the crossing feed intended for Bourque was whiffed on. Gavin White trying to operate and just ran out of real estate.
Nifty little saucer pass over the stick on that one, showing a little bit of skill.
So Yako for the Blues. Swinging around the boards. Petrovic looking to cut it off in front of Dorian. Instead, St. Louis gets some time here. This is Kessel at the blue line. Rink-wide feed. Rister well off the mark as Bebo was over there to cover at the post. Faxa and Luff tied up in a battle. Dorian picks it up for St. Louis. A little bit of a harder forecheck shift here for the Blues, taking things low. A shot through traffic, swallowed up by Bebo. 7.5 remains in our third period. It's a 1-1 hockey game. Both goals came in that middle frame. Carbonneau for St. Louis, Bork for Dallas. Who's going to get the next one? We hope to see that next. One with the Blues late in our third period. Sevy, a big question with Glenn Gulletson taking over. Will we see similar offensive production compared to what we've seen the last 3 years under Peter DeBoer?
Yeah, offense is thriving for sure with this team. Last 3 seasons are among the highest goal totals in franchise history. Why? You got 8 players with 40-plus points, and you got 6 stars that had 20-plus goals. So that's called depth, my friend. A lot of depth with this Dallas Stars team when you're talking offense.
That is what you need to survive in the Western Conference. There's a lot of teams with that depth, and we'll see how Dallas can flex it in what looks like a very tough Central Division again this season, as the Stars look to pick up control in the St. Louis zone. Instead, it's flipped back out to center. Ernie couldn't find it. Instead, Carbonneau does. He'll carry in. Snaps the wrister that's blocked, and the puck will skip off to the corner. Almayu, as his shot deflects off, I think, the stick of Ernie in front, missing the net wide.
Yeah, I don't think that one got there.
Finally, things will roll back down inside the St. Louis zone. Shots on goal in the game, 29-14, but God bless our crew. 21-7 since the start of the second period, favoring Dallas. It has been a really tilted ice surface in this preseason tilt between these two teams. Toropchenko shielding the body from Niels Lundqvist. Niels Lundqvist has won the fitness testing the last 3 years of the Dallas Stars, but Toropchenko is a 6'6" body. I don't know if he can even move that off a puck.
I don't think they do the bench press anymore.
Oh man,
in their tests.
It's quite a battle going on right now. The fans here at AAC are certainly enjoying it, but the Blues can't hold it in the offensive zone. So after all that work by Toropchenko, the Blues have to reset. Blackwell picks it up at center ice. Lays it forward to Steele. Trying to work between a couple of Blues jerseys. Chips it down into the corner. And now Ritzkovian. He and Blackwell go to work on the wing. Back to the blue line for White. Dallas holding. Now a stoppage in play. We've got a high sticking call. Dallas is going to have a man in the box. It's going to be Justin Ritzkovian. The Blues are going on the power play in a tie hockey game right after this. Neil Graham, who you see right there, is going to be overseeing the power play this year, Sevy, after his promotion from being the head coach of the American Hockey League's Texas Stars.
First of all, I hope I can have a beard just like his. That is high and tight. But there you see, very excited this morning, wasn't he, when we met with him. His ability to work with the young, it's new age coaches, right? You hear about him with the years as he did with the kids in Texas. And there you see the notables of the players that he has dealt with. Very familiar with the group that he has on the ice with the youngsters. Very familiar with the organization. And as we see there, he'll be working hand in hand. Glenn Gulletson is handing off and gives responsibility to his assistant coaches for the power play. Alain Nazardine will get the penalty kill. He lets them do their job. Of course, he oversees it, but he really gives them the opportunity to work with it. It's their baby, and Neil Graham will be the guy working the power play.
Says the transition has been fantastic. 32 players in training camp with the Stars this year have played for Neil Graham in the American Hockey League at some point. And he is now getting his chance to be an NHL coach. Well deserved. And it started in the ECHL. It started where it's tough to coach in that league as Dallas clears it out on the penalty kill here. 1:38 left on the power play.
Those coaches down there are gamers, man. They love the sport. They don't mind where it is. They'll coach anywhere. And I'm telling you, they spend a lot of hours watching video and learning about this game, and you got to have that to be one of those guys there in the suits behind the bench.
If at any point Neil Graham had to book some travel this season for the Dallas Stars, he would know how to do that given his time in the ECHL. Mayu holds it in for the Blues. Here's Holloway. Blues scored their first goal on the power play, courtesy of Justin Carbonell. They're looking for another one. It's fed back to Mayu at the line. Now the one-timer from Holloway. Didn't get all of it as his stick broke in half, and the Stars will take advantage to clear.
You know where they travel a lot, Brian? The Western Hockey League. Lots of bus travel.
52 seconds left in the power play here for St. Louis.
It's true.
As things rolled out into the quarter of the Dallas zone, here's Lundqvist picking it up, trying to clear. It was cut off.
Not going to touch it, eh?
It's kind of a power play going on in a tie hockey game. Centering feed intended for Lindstein was deflected away by the Stars, recovered and held in. Sasuyev, and now Lindstein, as he'll step out into the quarter. Well, the touch pass back to him was broken up, and Dallas will clear it out again. 17 seconds now remain.
Excellent job by the boys. Good stick position, nice reads, real tight down low.
Ritzkovian, the man in the box on the high sticking minor, as he is up on his feet ready to come out. Trey Taylor trying to tie things up in the corner of the Dallas zone, and now it skips off as Ritzkovian is out of the box. Stars have killed it off. Fox's outlet feed to Ernie, and a 2-on-1. Ernie stepping in for the Stars, centering to Ritzkovian, and he was denied by the sprawling Ellis. Oh, we've seen a few of those tonight from St. Louis netminders. And now it's the Blues looking to create something instead, broken up defensively by the Stars. So Campo Bianco outletting things to Foxa. 3 minutes left in this third period. As the puck rolls free, back out to neutral ice. Corralled here by Kolyachonok. Now Steele looks to begin the rush up ice for the Stars. Dumped in by Petrovic. There's Dorian taking it back for St. Louis. It's slapped in by Matthew Pekka. Dorian looking to feed it in front from the corner. Sliding effort by Kolyachonok to break that up. Maverick Bork, the goal scorer for the Stars in this one. He was stood up at the St. Louis line by Kessel. 1-1 a hockey game. First preseason matchup for the Stars and the Blues. First preseason matchup in the NHL. They are kicking things off on the preseason scheduling. Campo Bianco looking for the outlet, and he finds it to Ritzkovian. Protecting down into the quarter. Broberg working on him, now Lind. Slides it back to the point. Campo Bianco, low shot, tipped in front, and a kick saved by Ellis. Good reaction there by the young netminder for the Blues.
Ellis has had to have two good saves in this third period. That thing was harder than it looked.
So the Stars take it back in their own zone as Lind is rubbed off the puck. Broberg backpedaling in his own zone. As we are winding down here in regulation. Tie hockey game. Now Lundqvist outletting things to Cole Lind. He'll open some space, and a wrister through that circle, shouldered away by Ellis. It comes back to Kolyachonok. The one-timer by Lundqvist hit a St. Louis body and trickled wide. And the Stars nearly got caught with a couple of players on the ice extra. Instead, they turn it around quickly from center. Kolyachonok sends it behind the St. Louis net. 1 minute to go in the third. Kolyachonok cuts it off at the St. Louis line again. Finally, the Blues will float it back out to center. As Lundqvist plays it back up to Foxa. Stars trying to keep the pressure on with 43 left in the third period here. St. Louis trying to get the correct personnel on. Matthew Kessel holding. Hits the red line, dumps it in. As that puck pinballs around to the far corner. Blackwell and Petrovic. Now Trey Taylor lost his balance and couldn't make anything happen. Broberg shot from the blue line, knocked down by Bibeau. The puck rolling free. Both teams hacking and whacking at it. Finally pulled away by Blackwell with 12 seconds to go. He'll loft it out to center. It's pulled down by Steele, knocked down from behind. Stars still controlling, and the shot off the rush is tipped out of play. It was Maverick Bork on the offering. 3.5 seconds left in this third period, Sevy, but Dallas has had two really good looks.
Oh boy, again, it's Ernie coming up the ice here. Look at this little backhand across. It's Kovian, who's been all over the ice with the puck. And then Oscar Beck. Again, it's this D-to-D push, the quick shot, and look at that beautiful tip in front, and Ellis had to be strong on that. Oh, and it's getting a little nasty down there, a little push from behind. Oscar Beck with that contract that you talked about. Subtly came in to the Dallas Stars, Beck did, and really showed what he could do with his consistency, big body, penalty kill, face-offs. Stars impressed with him, offer him a 2-year deal one way, which he has really earned.
Stars got the face-off win, they got the shot and the rebound, but they could not get the go-ahead goal. We're going to overtime here in preseason game number 1. We're tied at 1 through 60. We'll have sudden death right after this. Blues, we are tied at 1 through 60 minutes of play, Sevy. Power play chance for St. Louis. Justin Carbonneau opening up the scoring.
Yeah, an opportunity for the St. Louis Blues here. And Carbonneau, we mentioned his scoring ability in the Quebec Major Junior League. Looks it off, throws it between the legs. Real nice play.
Dallas went to work on the net front, and they would get the equalizer late. Maverick Bourque finishing things off.
Yeah, Adam Ernie's in front, but again, it's this D-to-D play. Petrovic with the shot. Maverick Bourque, who the Stars are looking to provide some of this throughout the entire season, gets his first goal. That's going to help him with his confidence.
Both goals came in the second period. Shots on goal in the game, 33-15 favoring Dallas. And we are set for 3-on-3 overtime. It'll be Steele, Bourque, and Lundqvist, the opening trio for the Stars. Dvorsky, Broberg, and Carbonneau out there for the Blues. Scratch that, Holloway, not Carbonneau. So Lundqvist leaving this one to Steele. Now Maverick Bourque. He'll carry into the St. Louis zone, weaving through the circle, forced behind the net. Dallas last season, 7-4 in overtime as Steele protects. Now curls his way back here to the near side. The Blues went 8-6 in overtime last year. A feed in front as Ellis is pulled out of position. Steele did not have the shooting angle. And now Lundqvist will retreat back to the Dallas line. Holloway pressuring him. Now it's Steele holding. Nathan Bastian coming off the Dallas bench. Kyle Capobianco out there with him. Steele now the last man to change. Radek Faksa steps on. The Stars will look for another rush up ice. It's Faksa. Moving inside the St. Louis zone, driving towards the net, had his pocket picked. As the Blues try to clear it, instead the delayed call, or the penalty call, excuse me, as Kyle Capobianco was taken out on that turnover.
Dallas Stars first force the turnover here, but first it's Faksa. We talked about his big body, he goes toward the net, and then, oh boy. You don't want to put that puck up the middle of the ice. Look at Faksa cruising around. And then, yeah, Blues try to move it up through the middle of the ice. Stars, we even saw it in the prospect game where the Stars were really good through the middle of the ice with their forecheck, created some of those types of turnover, and Stars will get a power play here on this overtime situation.
Well, the Stars with the 4-on-3 overtime power play, they are going to take the timeout. And we talked earlier in the game how Neil Graham promoted from the AHL, and he's going to be running the power play for the Dallas Stars. How about this for your first preseason game? You get the 4-on-3 in overtime, and you get the chance to draw it up on the clipboard.
Yeah, real nice, and this is what they do. You want to be able to show the guys what the system is, what you're trying to look for, the formation, the movement. There's always little subtleties, but really it's about finding those openings, creating it with some good passing and good puck movement. Stars will try to get the win off of this.
The Stars will send out Lundqvist, Huru, Bourque, and Steele on this power play chance. 3:55 left in the overtime period. As Dallas is looking for a preseason overtime win. It'll be Nathan Walker on the draw. No, they're going to stop things, and they're going to do it all over again.
Yeah, Neil Graham talked about, setting the foundation for the rest of the year in these preseason games and these types of scenarios on the power play.
Stars win the draw. Lundqvist holds. Leaves it to Steele now. Has to gather through the circle. Back to Lundqvist. Now Bork back to Lundqvist playing catch. Now Bork holding. He's got the Dallas goal. Lundqvist has a pretty good one-time shot if he wants to unleash it. He'll hold for the Stars now. Huru off to Lundqvist, to Bork, feeds it in front, and the pass too hot for Steele to redirect.
Yeah, that puck turned on in as he went to pass it.
So Bork again for the Stars, back to Lundqvist. This is Huru waiting, looking for another feed in front with Steele in position, couldn't make contact. Out to Bork now. And for the hard pass down low to Huru. Couldn't corral it. The Blues will take over, and Toropchenko will clear it the length of the ice. He's going to skip around past Bibeau. Fresh penalty killers on for the Blues. Bork back in for the Stars. Tried to lead it forward for Steele, and St. Louis will break it up.
Yeah, Bork was tired. He tried to force the pass and didn't get through, and the Blues send it down the ice.
51 seconds left in the power play for the Stars. There's Antonio Stranges stepping in now. Capobianco. Now Lind. Feeds it down low, and the crossing feed by Ritzkovian at the right side of the net was broken up and dumped out by the Blues.
A nifty little play tried by Ritzkovian right there, trying to go backhand across, but Blues read that.
So Capobianco carries in. Lind will free it up to Stranges. They both played together in the AHL last season. And Stranges leaves it to Capobianco. Has some space, and the pass just in front of Stranges as he couldn't step in more. 12 seconds left in the power play. Lind lets the wrister go, and Ellis the save.
Nothing doing on that one for Ellis. Stars are moving it around, but not creating a lot. But from distance, you can see Lind trying to go up over the blocker. Real nice pass. Capobianco, you really see his movement, his ability on the power play. He's got a little gift, doesn't he, moving that puck around. And Lind has got an outstanding shot, even from last year in camp as well. You really noticed how he could send that puck towards the net.
43 assists in the AHL last year for Kyle Capobianco. That was second amongst AHL defensemen, and he controls off the draw. He is a power play quarterback as Lind drops it down low. Blackwell tried to set it up in front. Taylor was driving in, and things were broken up as the power play is over, and we're at 4-on-4 now here in overtime. The Blues stepping in. Mailloux plays it down low. Wanted the give and go play, and instead the puck ends up at center. Lindstein for St. Louis. Now it's Carboneau. He'll carry across the Dallas line. Forced down the wall by Blackwell. Now Lindstein holding. He drops it off to Broberg. Tried to build some speed through the circle. Forced to curl back. Carboneau. It's down into the corner here for Holloway. He tries to dance his way through the Dallas defense. No luck. Holloway recovering again. 1:12 to go in overtime as Dallas breaks it up, forces it out to center. Blackwell couldn't spring himself on a rush. Holloway back in quickly. Now Broberg in the circle. He tries to feed it in front. Stars will force this one away. Blackwell out to back. Being pursued by a couple of St. Louis players, protecting the puck down inside the Blues zone. That gives Dallas a chance to change. 50 seconds left in overtime. Broberg had his stick lifted for a moment. Steele was pursuing, does break up the pass. Steele now carries in for the Stars. We're still at 4-on-4 here off the power play ending. To Kolyachonok. Down the left side, holds up in the corner. Kolyachonok still protecting. Cycling with Steele, crossing feed to White. His wrister knocked away in front. As the puck skips through the trapezoid, pinballing around here in the corner, 17 seconds left. Back to White for Dallas. Kolyachonok hesitates. His rising wrister misses the mark. Now Lindstein gathers it in for the Blues. 8 seconds to go in overtime. As Holloway carries in. Just played the puck momentarily. Lindstein, and I don't think the Blues ever knew how much time they had. So, nothing in the third, nothing in overtime. We're going to a shootout here in our first preseason game. I don't know if you had that on your bingo card when we began this one tonight, but that's where we're at after a 1-1 hockey game.
Yeah, we didn't expect a video replay, which I think we had, a partial one, and then we didn't expect the overtime shootout. But I think the Stars in this one, I thought overall, a lot of puck possession time, created more offense. Obviously the shot clock's 34-15 in favor of Dallas, but they did a lot of getting the pucks low, creating offense, and they kept it in their own zone, or kept it out of their own zone for much of this game. So I thought overall, real nice job on both ends of the ice for Dallas in this one.
How do you think Antoine Bibeau feels? He thought he was just going to get the third period of work tonight. Turns into overtime, it turns into a shootout. So between Remy Poirier getting the first 40 minutes for the Stars, it's basically a split game for Antoine Bibeau, the second goaltender here this evening.
Well, after talking to Bibeau this morning, I think he is just relishing every moment that he's on this ice, and what a great attitude he had. He wants to be a mentor for a lot of these kids in the organization, and that's what people did for him, and he really wants to give it back. So this will be interesting to see who the Stars come out with in this scenario.
Yeah, you're not going to have your normal shootout players. Well, St. Louis may, between someone like Dylan Holloway, who was a 20-plus goal scorer for them last year. He is somebody that probably you're going to see on the shootout from the St. Louis side this season.
Ernie's been all over the ice. Ritskovian, we've seen a good game from him. Not with just the fight, as well as getting pucks toward the net, crashing.
Glenn Gulletson talked about giving both Niels Lundqvist and Maverick Bourque expanded opportunities through this preseason. Are we going to see Maverick Bourque take a shootout opportunity tonight?
Yep, I like how you're thinking. That's a good one to go with.
It's going to be St. Louis shooting first, and it's going to be Dalibor Dvorsky, one of their top prospects. Highly skilled player who picks it up at center. He's going to go wide on the approach. And he shot it high after getting Bibeau to pull himself out of position. Wow.
I'd like to see that from the other side. Let's see what happens here. Pulls it to his backhand. And oh my. Yeah, puck was wobbling as it pulled across, and bad ice in front.
Sam Steele for the Stars builds up a little speed. He'll go wide to the right. Scores!
Steele comes down. It's the quick little hands, and then underneath the 5-hole with the quick backhand. It's an area that's susceptible on these goaltenders as they're trying to lay those pads down.
Justin Carbonneau has some fancy moves offensively as he goes wide. Cannot beat Bibeau, who shuts the door.
A lot of head movement, a lot of hand movement, and then the puck really didn't move. Yeah, he didn't move the puck at all from that area, and tries to go 5-hole. Bibeau shuts him down.
Maverick Bourque can win it here for the Stars with a goal as he'll move with speed. Slows down, rang it off the post on the wrister.
The old stop-up move on this one. I love this one. Watch it. He's skating down, gets some speed, and then that left heel comes down. We're going to have a look at it from the back of him, and we're going to see it. Oh, he beat him too, low glove.
Dylan Holloway for the Blues from center. Can he get St. Louis on the board in the shootout? Blocker saved by Bibeau as he makes the stop, and that'll do it. Dallas gets the 2-1 win via the shootout.
He made 2 saves on that one. Holloway comes down. Oh, he missed it on the first one. So no goal.
So Maverick Bourque with the goal in regulation. Antoine Bibeau, the key save in the shootout. Dallas gets the 2-1 victory. They're 1-0 in the preseason. They've got 5 preseason games left after this, after beating the Blues in this 2-1 shootout final. And we will have all of those preseason games right here on Victory Plus. It's going to start up on Tuesday again when the Minnesota Wild roll into town, and then Dallas has to go 3 straight on the road: Minnesota, Colorado, and St. Louis. Josh and Razor will have the finale on October 4th against Colorado. Brent Severin and myself, we will have the other preseason games for you there. But tonight, hockey makes its return to American Airlines Center after 114 days away. The Dallas Stars are back. A 2-1 preseason final via the shootout. Maverick Bourque with the goal. Sam Steele scoring in the shootout. Antoine Bibeau with the key saves. Thanks to our crew behind the scenes. For Brent Severin, I'm Brian Ray. We'll talk to you on Tuesday. Until then, have a good night.